Exploring self-awareness through shared experience. Is that the Dryftwood podcast?
That's what we're here to find out.
I'm Daniel the Wizard.
Fox as usual. Howdy, y'all.
And today we have a special guest. So we asked, I want to say something before we asked what she wanted to be introduced by.
No,
she gave this specifically. The Grand Poobah, right? Poobah?
Yeah, the Grand Poobah.
Grand Poobah of
It's
all
French.
great things and coffee. So I have one statement about that. We are at your coffee shop. You
Yes.
said and coffee. So is coffee not a great thing, or is it beyond great?
It's beyond.
Okay, I just
And
wanted
beyond.
clarification on that.
That's the thing that exists outside of needing to be described as great.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So introduce
absolutely.
yourself.
So I'm Chasity Lewallen.
Okay.
Hi, nice
and
to meet you guys.
And where are
Howdy.
we at? Where are we at, David? Where are we at?
We are at Fifth Avenue, one of the most awesome places on the planet.
Aw.
We're recording on the porch.
Right
It's
outside
not-
the porch sign, in fact.
It's actually not a porch, but it is represented
It's
as
the
a porch.
porch.
It's
the
really
porch.
cool.
It's
so
a huge porch. It's
Yes.
an awesomely huge porch.
It's
With no deck.
massive. With no deck.
You don't need
Yes.
a deck when you've got a porch like this.
Do you really need a deck?
We
for a
could,
porch?
we could do like a tap dancing deck or something.
like.
That would be the one thing you don't have out here, because you have chess, you have ping pong, you have table.
Pool
what is it?
table.
Yeah, pool table.
Pool table.
Uh-huh.
Did you say
Uh,
chess? Oh yeah,
I- no,
chess.
I
You gotta
was-
say
I
it
was-
twice because it's big.
I was thinking the foosball.
Foosball. No, no foosball.
But there is a basketball net.
Partly.
Yep.
There's a ball over there.
Various things.
Basketball net. Just the
This
net.
is the
Don't
net
worry
is
about
just
it.
laying
It's
on
just
the
the net.
ground.
It's laying on the ground, so for me right now, that's what it is.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Dartboards, all that stuff.
yeah.
The dartboards right
Various
there.
pub
What is that
games.
thing called?
The ring.
That is
thing.
actually I know it sounds horrible, but it's a beer game. It's
Yes.
called. It's a ring toss.
ring toss.
It's
So it's
just
the thing on the string where you have to get it on the hook that's on the wall.
My
I
pre-
like actually the thing on the string. Let's call it that.
The loop,
thing
the
on the
precious.
circle on the string.
My precious.
The ring on the string.
The ring on the string.
To rule them all.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so out here on the porch, so they got the coffee shop here. Out here on the porch, we're recording. I've been like visualizing recording out here for a while. So
It's
who better to
beautiful.
have out here to record on the first
Yes.
episode out here than the owner,
Aw.
the owner of the place. So
Grand Poobah herself.
the Grand Poobah of all great things and coffee.
Indeed.
So one thing that I wanted to represent with getting here is this place is one of my favorite places. If I can find a way to come by here, I do.
Yeah.
So I think I'm here every morning unless there's something going on.
Yeah, I think so. Every morning you kind of open the place for me, and I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, so
I mean, not.
In previous episodes, I
sense.
harassed Daniel for the fact that before we came here for the first time, it was a whole palaver, a whole story that built up to us
Lava.
actually coming here, and it almost didn't happen because
I was in a pissy mood.
I didn't want to say it,
What?
but
I was remember
wrong with you?
when I walked in
tell
the
us
first day.
how did we get here for the first time?
Well, I don't remember what led up to it.
I
but,
know,
but
exactly.
I do know what happened. I was unsatisfied with the choice that my wife made because I don't think she could have made a proper choice in that. I was just in a bad
Wow.
mood. I was just in a bad mood.
Wow.
All right, so I was just in a bad mood. So reluctantly, we came here. I was reluctant. I really wasn't reluctant. I was just bitching. And then, yeah, the birds. We're outside, by the way, on the porch. If we haven't mentioned that.
That
yeah,
was a squirrel.
outside for a change.
Go ahead. Bad choices, wife. We hear you.
She decides, hey, we're going to go to this coffee shop, Fifth Avenue. And we talked about coming by here, but we're going to come by here. It was on a Sunday originally, and it was closed. So obviously celebrating the Lord, right?
Yes.
Whenever we came by here, and it was a Saturday the next time, so we came by here, and first thing we pull up, I just smelled deliciousness. Right, so it already made it a little bit more difficult to be in a bad mood, but I was standing strong.
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
standing strong. I was going to be an asshole, okay?
Sure.
I was hanging on to that little bit of me that I had, right? So we walk in, and we come in, and I'm like stern, like I just look pissed, and there's no way that I would have dealt with me the way that they dealt with me walking in here. There was a smile, there was calm greeting. It was like, hey, what can we help you with? And I'm like, I have no clue. My wife basically drugged me here, so what do I want?
Resistance is futile.
Exactly. And I think it was too that we kind of like bombarded you with sweetness.
Yeah,
That was the other
I
thing.
wasn't ready for that.
Like, hey,
It was-
hey.
it was-
Couldn't resist it. Just
Yeah.
overwhelmed you.
So showed up, and then
Fed you.
got the coffee. The coffee was good, but then I was waiting on the waffle. That's really what I was, because my wife actually ordered one of each two that they had. It was the chicken waffle and the High on the Hog.
And I have to just interject. At that point, you were still not quite happy with your wife's choices.
Never.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. No.
What are you doing?
It comes
waffles in multitudes.
It hadn't turned yet. It hadn't turned yet.
Seriously. This was a whole. That's what I'm saying. This was a whole
Really?
story.
So we come in. So all this. I actually don't think I was in there for the ordering. I ordered my drink and I walked out and I came back here and I was pissy with the kids. Right. So I was out here and they were doing their thing and I was being in my little bad mood and bad attitude. But I was getting over it. I was outside. It was
a beautiful day.
It was a beautiful day. It was warm. I was starting to get the vitamin D. My day was starting to turn a little bit, but maybe it started when I walked in and I was just bombarded with hugs essentially. And then get back here and then the wife brings the food. So thank you, Cheyenne. So she brings the waffles and I try hers first and I was like, it's good. And then I had the High on the Hog and I was like, all right, well, I'm in love. And I've been showing up ever since, mostly because first I'd say it was because of the waffle, because I hadn't had a waffle quite like that before. That was the first one I'd had like that, and even today I'm addicted to those things. They're delicious.
Thank you.
I'm thinking about a way to bribe you to get the recipe, so I don't have to wait. So at least on Sundays I can have it.
Yeah, it's not often you get a new top 10 in your favorite foods. It's like normally you have your top 10 favorites or your top 3 favorites, and that doesn't change much. But then occasionally someone comes along and you're like, yeah, okay, someone's going to have to move over a little bit. We got a new favorite here.
Then you show up with a bad mood, and then it fixes your day. So this place will forever, ever hold a special place in my heart, because that essentially it gave me the ability to turn a bad day into a good day. It showed me that it was possible right in the midst of everything. Some delicious food, some good, loving people. It was awesome. So ever since then, I don't think I've showed up here in a bad mood.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that. David and I started it originally because with this in mind, and he says this a lot. He says, we want to be like the Cheers of coffee shops.
That's ironic.
The Cheers of coffee shops.
Not ironic, sorry.
Just a place, a down and dirty place that you can come and, not dirty, but like fun. You don't
Not
have
too
to feel
stiff.
uppity, not
too stiff, yeah.
And then I like to call myself a dealer.
A dealer.
Coffee dealer.
The reason I said ironic,
authorized dealer.
Authorized.
the reason I said ironic wasn't maybe the right word, but that's how Daniel and I described this place.
Cheers, is that right?
This is like the coffee Cheers of
Are
like.
you serious?
Yeah, it's like the
Do
place
you know
you go.
What a great compliment that is.
It really is.
a
In
huge
private,
compliment.
that's how we
Huge
talk about it.
compliment.
Yeah, you're
Huge
welcome.
compliment.
You're welcome for being able to make it that. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. You're welcome for allowing us to be able to say that about a place. You know?
We wanted it to be a place where everybody would know your name, how you take your coffee. Like he made it purposeful when we originally started. David made it purposeful. He was like, we need to get to know these people's names, man. We need to say them over and over again, at least 3 times a day. Come on, every time they come in, everybody do it with me.
In chorus and in sync. Let's go, guys. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Daniel.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was his intention. He was like, make sure you say their name, you repeat it so that you'll remember, because here's the thing, I am not good with names. I am so bad with names.
Me neither.
But here
I'm good
I
with
can
nicknames,
describe.
though.
Oh yeah.
I'll
call
come
you
up with a
hun.
nickname, yeah.
I'll call you sugar. I'll call you pudding. I'll call you hey dude, hey yo, whatever, or Doc or whatever it is. I come up with nicknames.
Your
for
identifier
folks.
for them.
It
you
is.
don't remember their name because names are
No,
regular things.
no.
That's regular stuff.
No, yeah.
But Doc's Doc, right?
Yeah,
like the
Doc is
identifier.
totally Doc.
The identifier is like you don't even need to know his name. When Doc shows up, it's Doc, right?
Yeah.
I remember his name, but I often forget it when you call him Doc. I'm like,
Right.
yeah, Doc, what's up? Because it fits.
It is. And we've got lots of names.
You're just not like a retired pitcher, though, from the major leagues. Let's just clarify that's where the story's probably a lot different.
Yeah.
Because the Cheers,
No.
the guy. Anyways,
Yeah.
I like that show.
Yes,
I'm a big
I know.
fan of this show.
No, I'm not. But yeah, so we made associations, and then of course, through shared experiences with my husband, we decided that this was a hopeful place to kind of share a cup of coffee, hang out on the porch, make sure that people are active and out doing things and enjoying themselves. Not only that, but we wanted to bring that experience back for the family. A lot of families, with us, my husband's family's tight-knit. For me, it's a little different. And so to bring that experience together on a porch where you can have your family members or friends or whatever and make your own family experiences is a good thing. So.
Yeah, I think that's big and important for me too. Is because I used to think that I was like an outcast because me and my family didn't fit right. It was just I didn't fit right. But I realized family is a perception of the people around you.
Absolutely.
It just has nothing else to do with anything other than how that relationship is with that person to you. It doesn't matter how you became to be in that relationship. Whatever. What is that person to you in that relationship? So what I will say is at first I thought the infectious thing was like coming up here and then seeing you and then having the interactions and stuff like that. But then I realized actually everyone that I interacted with here that's been here had the same infectious like effect on me, because it's not just the place. It's not just the people either. It's the combination of the things where everything intersects.
Yes.
And like me, excuse me, this past weekend, me and my wife came here. We drew sidewalk chalk all over the concrete and stuff, and I got a lot of pictures before the rain took it away. So, check that out actually on Facebook. If you find their page, Fifth Avenue Nutrition on Facebook, you'll see some of the pictures of the posts that we did out here. So, really cool stuff.
And it's funny because people participated in that. Other people, like including my girls here, my daughter and my niece who help sometimes. They participated not only, and that's what I was saying earlier to you when you walked in. I wish it was almost permanent graffiti on my place, because it was funny to watch the participation in the artistic spin or take on you guys'
just
sidewalk.
Just the things. It was just different things.
And it was nice to see that, because even though these people they come in on your artwork, on an experience that you had with your family, they put their own spin on it, and then it becomes something completely different.
Makes a story almost.
Right?
It almost makes a story.
Exactly.
Like you start to imagine.
I love it.
And then also, if you're not involved in either of those artist renderings of what's happened there, you're just like, did the same person do this? Did 2, 3? What's happening here?
Don't know. That's what makes it so
great. That's why bathroom stalls are so interesting. Well, I mean, think about it. Just the way people add to it.
You broke them all.
No. Just
what I tell my kids all the time.
You
They
appreciate,
say something.
you
No.
appreciate the artistic aesthetics of bathroom stalls.
Listen, you're
Although
thinking
actually, no joking, your bathroom is actually very nice.
It's funny on purpose.
Right.
It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing that we did, because here's the thing. It's all really just me working here and my youngest, and sometimes it gets weird in there.
Yeah, I can understand.
So we
Gotta
have
keep
the
it light.
signs. Yeah, we had to keep it light and fluffy for the people because we didn't want to sound rude. So we were like, coffee makes you poop. Yeah, it does. And we don't want to see that. Shh. So flush it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's an
This ain't a truck stop gas station. Clean it.
Clean it. Flush it. We don't want to see it. We know you do it.
Unexpected splash of humor there.
Let's you broke them all.
Yeah, wrong word.
So in the search of cheers, now did the place tell you it should be like that, or did you have the idea that this place suited it?
So here's the thing. It has morphed. And it has become something that is beyond David and our imagination, honestly, and it just keeps morphing. And I love it. I love the morphing of it. And I think it's because we've kind of taken those personalities, yours, everybody that comes in, the different Doc, Apocalypse Now, the ones that we have, we have names and we have people that come in, and you are, you're the reason why we do what we do. So we think about what you like, just like we would if it was our family, and how we would incorporate in what we do in our home and our lifestyle and whatever, and what our kids and our family members love. Well, then we're going to do the same thing for you guys, and we find out what those are, and then we incorporate that. So if Daniel, for instance, comes in and he loves cayenne pepper, well, I'm going to incorporate that completely and wholly in my menu items. I'm going to figure out what it is.
It's really funny because of me getting cayenne pepper and stuff. Now, whenever
like everybody,
like James, for example, James lives on that stuff. I talked to him on the phone. He's like, "Yep, putting cayenne pepper on it." He puts cayenne pepper on ice cream, puts cayenne pepper on peanut, whatever.
But you know how it started? It started with me.
Yeah.
Because that was my thing, and then I was like, "Oh, Daniel doesn't like sweets." So
he's like, "Here, try some cayenne. Try some cayenne." I was like, "Yeah, I'll give that a go." And I put it on. I was like, "Okay, every time this is in there.
This is it.
This is in there.
It's the thing."
Yeah. No, it's awesome. It's awesome. So that's really cool. So you said that it's morphing. So it's morphing into the thing that it's becoming. So you had an
Yes.
idea for what it was, but it's
We did.
far exceeded. Oh, you're okay.
I thought it was a bug.
So the potential of what you thought was here,
His name's Mike.
the potential of what you thought was here was one thing, but now that it's gotten to where it's at, you have the different people that have just shown up.
Yes.
Like, honestly, probably mostly weirdos at first, including myself.
Oh no, I love it.
Yeah,
I love
so,
it.
but I
No.
think that's also another thing that's cool too, is there's no walls to confine the weirdo
None.
here.
None.
Yeah, you can
None.
come outside, you can play ping pong.
Well, I mean, to an extent, there's no walls that contain the weirdo.
What
No,
I
I'm
mean,
teasing.
what I mean is you can comfortably roam within the fence.
Yes, within the fence, within these walls. No.
Within the fence.
So yeah, so we have a nice big porch out here. They did mention that our porch is gated off. Just for people that are listening in and don't understand what this is, you know, this used to be a car lot. Before that, it was Garland's first self-serve gas station.
Nice.
First?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty darn sure. I'm pretty darn sure. And
Yeah,
I
we're-
sound like really country when I say darn.
We're
pretty
right.
darn sure.
We're right outside of downtown. Like we're still in the downtown district, but we're right outside of downtown
Yes.
in Garland. So
Yes. So it was a car lot. This is like the car lot district
Mm-hmm.
around here anyway. So it has been dilapidating and just not doing anything for very many years. And we saw it, of course I did, because I would pass by this place all the time, headed out to go do my personal training classes. So before I became a coffee shop and pastry and whatever else, I was a personal trainer and physical fitness instructor. And so this was something that I would pass by all the time. Well, we were there was a need, a big need at the time to find a new place, because the place that we were housed in doing something like this, like I said, it's morphed. It is completely morphed into what it is. My son and I were together in a business, and he was younger at the time, and we were doing like this like protein shakes and stuff for my personal training clients, and he did this little kiosk kind of thing where he was doing the hot chocolate and the, you know, all of that, and he was selling it for, you know, pretty good little prices, and he was making it like a lemonade stand kind of money, you know, and I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool, kid. So we kind of thought about it for a while, and he said that this is something he wanted to do. So David and I wanted to invest in our son, giving him something to value and appreciate and work toward. So what am I going to do? Being the mom I am, I'm going to go out and figure out what I need to do to get my son to that point, and that's what this came of. I speak 7 different languages, and it just so happened that the man that was here was the grounds tender, and he didn't speak English. He only spoke Spanish, and so ¿tú hablas español? And I did, and so I asked him, you know, hey, are you the owner? And he's like, oh no, you know, like
I just keep
not-
the place mode.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want that kind of business. And
That's too much. No.
it's too much responsibility. And so anyway, I hollered at him and I said, hey dude, you know, this sign that's here, I can't read it. There's only like 4 numbers on it. How am I supposed to dial that number, man? And he's like, no, that's okay. I know the owner. And he gives me the number. And on the other line is the second guy. So apparently there's like a manager to the managers. I don't know.
Manager, bee watcher, watcher.
Like a little, yeah.
Do we have
like
one of
that.
those?
Like an in
We
between.
don't have a bee watcher,
We
watcher.
don't have a bee watcher.
We watch our own bees.
Yeah.
This is the absolute truth.
Yeah.
And so I got a hold of the in-between guy, the middleman, and he came down, gave me the keys to the place. We looked it around, and of course it was trashed. It was so trashed. It was so bad. And but I saw it, and I was like, this is it. This is awesome. This is so great. So I told him my vision. I said, you know, I would like to make this place something really beautiful, and if you'll give me the chance, I would love to make your business. I'm assuming at this time he owns this, you know, whatever. I said I would love to fix it up and make it fantastic, something that would really value or bring value to Garland, and not only that, like, but to this corner.
Right.
Because this is a pretty. I mean, there's.
So it was just an empty
Yeah,
derelict.
it was pretty bad. It was dilapidated. It was gross. It was really gross. He kept it up, but it has never really been anything great. Not saying that what I made it was great, but
No, it's awesome.
I mean, it's my little slice of heaven here.
I mean,
so.
the first time I came in looking around at the decor, I was really like fascinated. I was like, this has a certain feel, but unique. I mean, it has it, you know, being formally trained in art, so I could see certain elements, but it was put together in a very unique way, which, You know, it was intriguing and yeah, aesthetically
Thank you.
pleasing,
Thank
definitely.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it wasn't just like basic. It's a common style. I will say it's a more common style as far as some of the things, but the way that you put the elements together, the way that the elements are together,
Yeah.
if you stand long enough, you'll feel like you're in different places. Just depending on how long and what angle you're taking with
Yeah.
looking at it.
So that comes from us coming off of, and I'm gonna get into some really heavy crap. So here we go. This is your thing.
And
Buckle up.
Yeah, buckle up, guys. So when you stand in my shop, if you should ever come here, this is the last of my bucket list. And I say that with all true and respect to everyone that has gone through this journey that I've gone through, some of the same stuff. This is the last. David and I were looking at me saying, I said goodbye to my kids. I let them know that I love them, and I wanted to give my son everything that he needed, like I said, to make sure that he was ready to go do what he wanted to do. At least I set him up for that. And so when I was ready to head to heaven, that was it. So we went everywhere. We went to Europe. He took me to Germany. He took me to France. I've been to Italy. I speak, like I said, 7 different languages.
Also Englisch und
English,
Spanisch und welche andere?
Yes, German.
Deutsch,
and
natürlich.
Deutsch, yes, and sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Ja,
And yeah, I speak a little bit of Mandarin and a little bit of Chinese, or Mandarin is Chinese. Sorry, a little bit of Mandarin and a little bit of Vietnamese.
Oh, Vietnamese.
And the reason for
Nice.
being on the Vietnamese is because I used to train Vietnamese students, and they thought it wasn't fair that Tai Chi didn't speak. Tai Chi mean teacher, didn't speak the language, so they would teach me a
Nice.
little bit here and there, so at least that I could count. Mop, height, bat, sap. Yeah,
Nice,
I can
nice.
I can count. So, just a few things.
Mm-hmm,
And so anyway, I felt like the last thing that we needed to do was make sure Zach was set up and we were good to go. Found this place, and here we are. So you were saying that, you know, depending on the angle, depending on where you're at in the place, it feels different each way. Well, it's because we picked certain areas, like the shiplap and the colors. That's actually from a place that we really love, St. Martin. And it's
Definitely
very-
has that vibe, that island feel.
Yeah.
That island feel.
We took that island back because I said if I had to be in a place for this long a time, all day long, I want to make sure that I feel comfortable and fun in it. And so we took the shiplap idea from St. Martin. Then there are certain areas like the Porch. This came from France. So there are certain French areas and stuff that where it feels really like you're outdoorsy. It's European, and then the inside.
That's why you like it so much.
Ah, you
Sauerkraut
caught
eating.
me. Caught me.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah.
The chessboard was
German.
definitely a giveaway. This has got a European feel to it.
Yeah, well. And then the German aspect of it is, again, that same European / outdoorsy feel. A lot of their places are like that. They're
Open air.
Open air.
Open air,
They're
yeah.
I'm
plain
telling
air.
you, the canopies here,
Yes.
very reminiscent of Germany. In
Yes.
parks, they use these high tension wires with these triangular, it depends, canvas or some kind of high tech fabric sometimes to create these
Yes.
overlapping shades. I love it. I love
Isn't
it.
it neat?
And then also, sometimes I've seen some of them too, with the way that they're lined up, they make things in the shadows. So the way that they line up the shapes, like in
Yeah.
the kids' parks and
yeah.
stuff,
Oh, yeah.
they
Oh, yeah.
make like a dinosaur in the sun just because of the shapes, and it's a shape. It's really cool stuff.
It's very decorative, and everything's very clean, very cut and dry, especially over there. So we just kind of picked
And also,
pulled.
it's not cluttered. That's the thing
No.
that I want to really point out, that when you're outside in the open air area, it's not cluttered. It is room. It's room to breathe, room to talk, room to stretch out, room to meet with a group of people.
Oh, yeah.
And have like a book study or something like that.
And that's
So-
what we've tried to do. Now, it's not really kicked off like I want it to. I don't know if that's just an American type feel where we all have to be inside a business or a building or breathing
Yeah.
artificial air. I don't know.
See, that's what we're trying to change with the podcast, is the concept of you have to do things the way everybody else does it. Like, there's so
Absolutely.
many other things. Like, there's so many other things.
Do you know how many times a day I have people come in here and say, yeah, it's time to expand. This place is too small. No, actually, I do everything I'm
We'll
doing.
make this smaller. You keep talking.
Yeah,
I'm
just
kidding.
keep-
Oh, try me.
Just try
We'll have
it.
a serve window. You won't even get to come inside. I'm
The
just
hatch.
But
just
yeah.
a hatch. You just open the hatch and get your coffee, and that's
But
it.
here's the thing, and that
Sad.
is a thing. You know, they
Oh,
have the
sure.
Euro grills in Europe.
Mhm.
Euro grills is a huge thing. It's huge. If you've never been to Europe, you would know what a Euro grill is. But they do have the hatch. They have the hatch thing where you open it up and you get your
kebab.
cappuccino, bitta,
Yeah.
bitta, bitta. So anyway, but yeah, so. No, my answer to that, whenever they come in and say, "Hey, you know, it's time to expand, time to get a bigger place. Maybe just put another little corner." Well, here's the thing: where do you stop? First of all, where would I stop?
Where's the line?
Where's the line? There isn't one. Second of all, I wouldn't know your name, man. You would become a number on a cup. Do you really want that? Where everybody knows your name and they're always
Yeah.
glad you came. Come on, Cheers. What you got? What you got? What you got? So I wouldn't really
Where
get...
everybody
That's
knows
right.
your name. Boom,
Dun,
boom.
dun,
Yeah,
dun.
I watched it the other night. Just FYI, I watch that show sometimes.
But here's the thing. We couldn't get that vibe, that Cheers vibe, if we expanded, because literally you would be a number on a cup, and then the people would change, because right now it's just me and my daughter. And we know you. We literally know your story. We know your kids. We know everything about you, which is kind of good and kind of
Yeah.
bad.
So for example, just to give an example, I showed up this morning. I said, "Listen, whatever you made my wife Saturday, she wants that again." That's the best information I had. I was really relying upon her memory to be able to accomplish this. Okay.
And here's the thing. I can pull that stuff out. I really can sometimes. Sometimes I can't.
You mix the
Sometimes-
faces up sometimes.
I
right?
do. I really do. It's kind of, especially if you've only been in twice. And,
Sometimes you
and-
get
yeah.
cinnamon in
Yeah.
your coffee instead of cayenne.
Yeah. Or
A special
nut-
kind of drink, nutmeg,
nut-
whatever it was. It was quite delicious, though. I will say, it was just unexpected. Just unexpected. That's happened a couple times.
and then we come up with awkward things where we have awkward experiences.
Yeah,
like
what-
Daniel's milk.
Yeah,
and
Daniel's
nut
milk. So
juice and-
mostly,
not that kind. No.
mostly when I come in here. So whenever I come in here, there is an exchange about how I mostly like milk with espresso in it. Like
Exactly.
that's mostly what I
it's
like.
flavored milk. It's not
It's
even,
coffee flavored milk. It's like 75-25.
I swear you're like a child. Just
You know
like-
what though? I
yeah.
am a child. Look at my colorful. Like no, today my socks are colorful,
It's basically a
but
cup-
everything else is pretty like it's rainy today, so
A cup of milk injected with caffeine.
injected
Yeah.
with caffeine.
Perfect for a child.
No, like it's not even enough caffeine. That's the sad part. That's the sad part.
Listen, I
Children
already,
aren't supposed to have caffeine at
already
all.
have anxiety. I already move and like I already look like a vibration. Anyways, I don't need to add to that.
I think that's your perception of how you look.
I look like I'm in a glitch.
Yeah,
just a
he's just glitching all the time. Yeah.
all the time. So you said that when you stand inside the shop and you stand at different angles, it's based upon your travels or whatever. So, do you care to share why you were experiencing those things? Like why that happened to be where you came to be to that decision?
Yeah, so like I said, I had said goodbye. Goodbye. I'm a 2-time cancer thriver, thyroid cancer and then reproductive. And this thyroid cancer, I decided on my own that I would do whatever I wanted to do. And I was tired of cut burn chemo and all of the other stuff. I was tired of everything. I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? And so David and we were like, what's stopping us? And I did too. I was like, we literally asked that question. We came to that. We had talked about this, Daniel, I think the other day, a crisis of belief. You know, I'd come to that crisis of belief that I needed to make a huge change and make it very quickly because I had limited time. Which we all have limited time, honestly. You don't need to have some sort of terminal illness to have limited time.
Yes, sir.
But just knowing that mortality is there and it is breathing down your neck, right? And so you're just like, okay, it's time to reassess what we're doing and switch gears here. And why are we saving so much money at our age? We're at like 20, 30 years old. Like, why are we saving all this money? What are we saving it for? Why are we waiting to do the things that we're doing? And we see everybody else like at
That's
80,
why
60,
we vibe
70.
so well.
Oh, yeah. 75 years old. Why are we waiting?
We have this discussion so often about
This
the whole
doesn't make any
waiting to do the
sense.
things you really want to do. Why are you waiting to do the things
You
you
don't
really want
have
to do?
to.
Why
But-
wait till you're old and
okay.
tired and possibly
let me
broke?
preface something with that, though.
Yes,
Let me
ma'am.
preface something. So sometimes it's good to wait. Sometimes it's good to wait. You need to wait to save up enough money to be able to jump out of that airplane.
You got to be smart. You got to be
Right.
smart about
Prudent.
it.
Right.
Sure.
Got to have a
So
plan.
You've got to have a plan. So we did. We started brainstorming. He and I, we brainstormed about a place called Naughty and Nice, which doesn't sound right at first, but when you understand the context, you'll
Sure.
understand what I mean. So he said,
Christmas themed.
yeah. So you'll be the nice theme stuff, and because you do all the good foods, you do all of that, and I'll be all the naughty foods, and it'll be all the sugary, crappy, whatever it is.
Wow.
And we're gonna get a van because I know how much you like VW vans, and you're gonna sell your earthy, crunchy stuff out of there, babe. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. And I was like, yes, it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna start. So we started brainstorming and dreaming in our own quiet time together, and we would dream, and that's what we did. And so I said, well, what's stopping us now from, say, going to all of these places? I want to go to Germany. I want to see all of these places and experience these things with you. And what's stopping us from that? Nothing but, of course, monetary, financial, whatever. And so, again, there's where I say sometimes you have to kind of say, okay, do we have those funds? Yes, we do. Can we spend them on this? Should we spend them on this? Probably not, but who cares?
It depends on your perception. Like, what are
Exactly.
you trying to accomplish?
Right.
Like, are you trying to get to the end of the game and have a lot at the end?
We have so many memories, and we cannot stop
Can't buy-
ourselves from loving those experiences and going back. Because I find my husband, who had to be in a cubicle for a while, he would find himself, and I'd be like, "Where are you?" And he'd be like, "I'm in Cozumel." And I'm like, what? And he'd text me, and he'd be like, "I'm in Cozumel." And I'd be like, "You're in Cozumel?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm dreaming, baby. I'm in Cozumel." And I'd be like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm really thinking about it." And then he'd go back and he'd scroll through those pictures. And that was an old trip of our honeymoon. And so I was like, well, why are we just like living off of past history experiences and whatever? Why don't we go make some new ones with the kids
We
and
talk about
friends?
this all the time, making new memories.
Yes. It's
having
important.
new experiences.
Absolutely, every day. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to like go hop on a boat somewhere and go to a resort or an island or whatever. Maybe you just make a memory of buying a really crappy rundown space and turning it into a coffee shop.
And maybe you show up to that coffee shop with your kids and draw sidewalk chalk all over this place like it's your own personal canvas.
And then you leave it here for the rest of everybody to do.
I mean, it's all of those things. So you say that you don't
Yeah.
like waiting. You want to preface waiting by saying like you have to make good choices though, right?
Absolutely.
You can't just come out at 18 and be like, "Ha, here we go."
Yeah.
No, you got to figure some things out first.
Sometimes guns a-blazing is great. Sometimes shooting from the hip is great. Yes, and in
It
certain
opens doors for
situations-
you sometimes.
Absolutely,
It opens
in
doors.
certain situations, I
Jail
am
doors.
okay with it. Jail doors. Okay,
Free
well,
sucker.
no, but for like my 18-year-old son, shooting from the hip, he's learned with Dad and I being so spontaneous in that sort of aspect, I guess. He's learned that you must plan, and within reason, it can be spontaneous.
Give yourself some parameters to be spontaneous.
Yes,
It's like
yes.
Daniel and I have been planning these camp outs, going camping.
I love it.
The weather hasn't really been in our favor. We're being a little wussy about it. Daniel's recovering from injury.
Today,
Lots
playing
of
chess in the
reasons.
rain was an endurance test to
Yeah,
see what we
yeah.
can put on.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere, right?
Right. But what we
Chafing clothes. That's what you can put on.
Nice.
Chafiness.
Again, being prepared. Had we been prepared, we would have had a change of dry clothes. But whatever. So with the camping thing is
Or a parka.
we're preparing, having our gear ready, set, locked down, so that we can be spontaneous. So anytime we say, "Oh, today is a good day. It's not raining for a change." Grab the gear. Let's go. Like throw it in the car. It's already in a box, in a bag.
Absolutely.
Go.
So
We're
that's why I
getting
took
better
up
at that.
SUP. You know what stand-up paddleboard is?
Yeah,
SUP?
yeah. You were
You could
telling
just
me about
put
that.
your gear in. My husband bought me. So again,
Stand up paddle board.
SUP. Yeah, stand-up paddleboard.
Right. Okay.
So
I'm not familiar with this.
That's totally amazing, and I'm sad that you don't know.
Okay, please.
Let's
I'm a very-
introduce him. I only
I'm
know
very-
about it in imagery. I've
You
never
just-
So-
done it.
You
I
don't
love-
know paddleboarding.
I love being spontaneous, and I love it, and I think it's fun. And that was one of those things. Again, I didn't know what I wanted to do. My husband was like, not saying no at this point at anything. Sometimes I think it was a little crazy to a degree.
It's like you're gonna let me do.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
You
So
survived
it was,
it, so you know.
I owned for a very short time. I still own the LLC. I still own all the products. I owned a t-shirt company for SUP, stand-up paddleboard, and it was Shut Up and Paddle is the name of it. And I did
I know there's
dragon
a
boating.
theme. I know there's a sassy theme throughout
Yeah.
a lot of the.
A lot of my things. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
somehow.
I know somehow. But anyway, so I did. It started out with dragon boating, which again,
What is dragon boating? Now,
It's a-
now we're onto some
it's
stuff.
a
I'm on.
30-foot canoe that you are in with 20 other paddlers, and you're sitting next to them and you're paddling. So rowing is completely different. That's a backward motion.
Yes.
Paddling is a downward stroke in a forward motion. So SUP is the same thing. And so because SUP was the same thing and I stopped doing, so it was quite by accident that I got invited to be a dragon boater. They thought I had breast cancer. And it wasn't breast cancer, but I said I'd lop off one of my boobs so that I could be a part of the team if I needed to.
Hey guys, let me join. Oh,
Yeah,
That's
I
commitment.
I want to do it so bad. It sounds so freaking awesome. I will cut one of them off just for you guys. No, but it was a joke and whatever. And they were a bunch of survivors, cancer survivors. And so they heard about me and they were like, Coach, we want you to come join. I joined, and because my boobies were still intact, I didn't need to save my tatas.
Yeah.
And so I was like, darn it, I don't get to be a part of it. But I found out about something called SUP. And it was a stand-up paddleboard. And I got on one, and I instantly fell in love. It requires a lot of patience, a lot of just core and balance. And I felt like the water underneath me, the wind blowing at me. I felt the rush of adrenaline, like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So I thought I'm sure I looked completely stupid, but I felt like I was amazing at the time.
Hey, listen, it doesn't matter what actually. Does
In my
anybody
own
have
mind.
does anybody have it recorded?
No.
Prove it then.
No, I was a rock star.
Prove it
I was
then.
a rock star. I really was. I lived the dream. So my husband was like really excited for me enough that he was like, hey, I bought you a stand-up paddleboard. I was like, you did what? He was like, yes, you should go do it. And you have this company that you sell this gear. You should go do stand-up paddleboard. So I did my first 5K stand-up paddleboard. And then
So they do like marathons. And stuff.
oh yeah.
Oh, I can't do
Oh,
that. Listen,
it is-
I'm a lame duck right now. I only got one wing, so
Well, that's all you need. No, I'm
no, I
teasing.
gotta trade sides. I can't. I can only go in circles if I'm just paddling one side.
Hey, you know what? 5K in a circle. But
It's all about the physical activity,
It's not
right?
about a destination, it's about a journey.
It's about the journey.
Yeah.
Well,
so where we were going with that was packing up
Yes.
your gear.
Yes, yes.
My husband picked a paddleboard for me that was packable because I have this little teeny tiny Juke. It's a little car, Nissan car, and I can't fit a huge paddleboard on that sucker.
no way.
Is that a thing that looks like a mini?
That is exactly what
Cooper?
it is.
Yeah.
It looks like a Mini Coupe. But he picked one that is an inflatable. There are inflatable paddleboards, and it rolls up. It's this huge hard canvas. It's
Nice.
fantastic. Oh, it is. I
That's
know.
nice.
That is the word for it. Noise.
Noise.
It is really
We
nice.
discussed the word nice the other day. Anyways, nice.
Yeah. So there you have it. Be spontaneous, but within parameters. Again, my husband did that with the intent in mind for me to be able just to go out and do what I wanted to do spontaneously when I could and always be ready. So that stays in my car, whether I
Yeah.
use it or not.
You know what? Maybe it's time to dust that bad boy out. When's the last time you used it?
Last summer.
Last summer? Oh,
Yeah.
we're getting close. Then
Cherry
it's
Pie
getting
was
time.
with me. Yeah, it was.
It's
yeah.
getting time. You may have to cut out the shop early one day and just go get after it.
Well, that's why
Put
we
a,
closed
put
it
a
too.
sign up saying gone surfing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
It's not really surfing.
Gone
if it's
boarding.
On the lake.
Gone supping.
Yeah,
gone
supping. Everybody be like, supper? Supper?
Supped
What?
out.
Supped out.
So stand-up paddleboarding. Like I
Yes.
said, I've only seen it in imagery. I've never actually. I've seen people buy paddleboards, but
There's a lot of it in Grapevine.
well, I'm really interested in doing it. But
You would love it. You would love
I
it.
think
It's
so.
outdoors. You can, and with these stand-up paddleboards like the 5K, the one that I did, a lot of them take their tents out there, and they just hang out, and they hang out the whole weekend. They camp out. They have their sups, and they all get together and they do it. That's just
awesome.
It
So
is.
David was talking about, we've been trying to plan these little camp trips together, these day camps, whatever,
perfect.
and we've actually been like considering like maybe not that, even maybe other stuff too, maybe like getting together, play chess, things like that, trying to incorporate all of these things that, man, it's easy to go do. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money to do some of these things.
Some of it's free, completely.
Yeah, and then also we have a couple of extra things with our camps. We're actually trying to get enough stuff together so we can invite people. They don't have to bring anything.
Yeah,
You know,
I love it.
So the whole idea is we're going to start with day camps, hopefully, and just spend 8 hours out with a fire, hammocks, just hanging out. And if people want to stick around the camp, they can. If not, then they don't have to.
Yeah,
but the
we
whole
provide
idea,
them with the basic loadout, get them through the night.
That's
yeah,
fantastic.
but yeah, so
camping.
we're trying to figure out a way to incorporate a lot of these things. And yesterday we came up with an idea for a scavenger hunt. So you want to keep people occupied. So if you make it a 3-day camp, like we talked about this quite a bit. If you make it like a 3-day camp, you show up the first day, you set up camp, you camp because you probably get there in the afternoon and you're not really gonna do a whole lot. You just hang out by the fire, you camp. You wake up the next day, the whole day is out exploring. You have somebody there that's showing you things that maybe you don't know, or just a shared group thing, right? And the next day is a scavenger hunt, where all the things that you did the day before, all the things that you learned, you should have been picking up, paying attention, things like that. So now the scavenger hunt, go find some of these things.
I love it.
So
love it. It's
that
kind of
way-
like the geocaching thing.
Sort of, but it makes it really interactive, but it gets them away from everything. It gets them
Sure.
like out of the car noises even. Like it gets people just
Yeah.
breathe. David was talking about earlier the birds you hear in town.
Mockingbird.
Yeah.
Tell about that.
The mockingbird was going through his or her little routine, and basically what they do is they repeat all the sounds that they hear.
Absolutely, they do.
So when you have a mockingbird nearby who does only car alarms, like repeated different car alarms,
Then
you're in a
know.
bad neighborhood. You need to move if you don't like that sound. And likewise, if they repeat all the different bird songs imaginable, you know that there's a good, nice, environmentally friendly kind of,
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's really
yeah.
cool sound. I never really thought about it that way. but
Today
you're right.
for the first time, it's like, wow, what an indicator! It like tells you what's around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Isn't that
good
crazy?
filter to see what that bird's environment mostly sounds like.
Yeah.
That's really
Crazy.
cool. I don't know
That's
how
crazy.
far birds travel though either, so they're
True.
probably not too far from the nest.
No.
Further than burglars.
Speaking about birds, this has nothing to do with birds, but the bees.
Yes.
The bees.
Oh,
So
my
I want
Birds and the bees,
bees,
nice.
my bees.
I wanted to get onto this.
That's okay. Go ahead. That was a good segue.
I want
Totally.
so
Not
all
even
the
close.
bees. So we have the coffee shop. We got us all here. We were all here talking, doing all the things or whatever,
you
and
know,
then
I'm a dealer. Yeah.
yeah, and then got to go visit the dealer, right? And somewhere along the way, they happened to get some bees.
So here's what happens when you don't say no. You get into all kinds of things, man. Like I said, you get into dragon boating, you get into supping, you become a coach, you become a nutritionist, and then you become a beekeeper. On your journey of let's not say no.
Yeah.
So
Did you watch Yes Man before you did this, like Jim
I
Carrey?
don't know.
You-
Probably.
You probably like, dang, they're
Yes.
making fun of me.
They really are. This is my life. But yeah, so I was just talking with Dave again, and we were like, hey, bees are really cool. They're the coolest things ever. And
I will agree with that.
I really, if you look into bees, they are just amazing. And apparently, it runs in his family. Who knew that
Yeah.
beekeeping ran in his family? We didn't
There's
know.
a genetic trait apparently.
Apparently,
that makes
that's
you
why
a
he
good
said
beekeeper.
yes. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, just something in him sparked. But I want to point out that I was invited over to
Yes,
their
you were. Yeah.
to check out the bees. They do have a blog page that is called
Living the drone life.
Living the Drone Life.
Yeah.
And I've shared a couple of the things on there every day. I think every day there's bee facts. So
It's
for
so
your
awesome.
bee facts,
Bee
go
facts.
check out that bee
Yes.
facts. So I got to go check out the hive. So the one I'm scared to death of flying insects. This thing, right?
I'm so proud. I'm proud of you.
I
I'm
do
proud
want to
of you.
say something. So when we first walked in there, so I swatted at something, and
That was
Dave,
a mic.
That was the mic
no,
that you
I
swatted
swatted
at.
at something, and Dave just looks at me. I'm like, no, it wasn't a bee. It wasn't a bee. It was there was like a plant that was like one of the dandelions. I was getting that. I wasn't swatting at the bee. I was about to get kicked out before I even stepped foot in there.
Oh my gosh.
And
He's like, you're swatting at my bees. Leave.
yeah. Well, before he could even say, it, I was like, I know what this looks like. This was not that. This is not that.
I can explain.
Please.
So the bees, I actually, after about 5 minutes, I forgot we were dealing with bees. I was just so enthralled
Mesmerized.
with everything that
I
was
know.
going on. I was just taking pictures, just looking at everything. I'm like, I can't believe I've never thought that I would get to stand here and watch somebody do this close. I was like 2 foot away.
Yes,
I was like, this is amazing.
It is. After a while, you kind of get this feeling of, I wouldn't call it euphoria, but it's calmness. It's very calm. It's very quiet, and the bees, the sound that they make, it's very calming. And I think that's what my husband, that was the main reason. We need a calming space in this city that we live in. We do live in the city. And so we were kind of creating our own little slice of heaven.
Sorry, I was momentarily distracted by the overly loud vehicle.
Squirrel.
But what were you saying about the bees
They create a buzzing sound.
Right, a buzzing sound. So
yes.
a vibration, a
Yes,
hum.
yes, it is. It is very much so. And if you sit out long enough around our apiaries, we have 5. Around the apiary, we have 1. I'm sorry, 1 apiary, we have 5 hives.
Right.
If you sit around the hives for very long and you just sit closely to them, you can hear them coming back and forth, buzzing around you. But it's not like a buzzing that's irritating. Like you said, Daniel, once you sit there for a few minutes, you're not irritated like a fly irritates you. It's a calming noise that seems so ever present, and the fear that you initially feel from the adrenaline rush of thinking, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get stung, goes away, and that feeling of euphoria / whatever that is makes you calm at that point in time.
Yeah, the fear for me just dissolved. Like, I didn't even notice it disappear. It just dissolved. I was just like, at first I was very apprehensive.
Most
I was like,
people are.
I told Dave, I was like, I'm just going to stand back. I'm going to watch. I'll take a couple pictures. Is it cool if I take pictures? I'm just going to watch. But every time you do something, I take like a step closer to get a closer look, And then finally my face was just like right upon him. Like, oh, it's really cool. Like, and there's the bees are just, they're all just climbing around or whatever. And then when he was trying to stick the tops back on the hives, I kept going, oh. The bee kept like trying to fly, like, and I was like, oh no, oh.
Don't crush her.
Yeah. So and the care and finesse that he has when he's trying to put it on there, he talks to him. He's like, hey, get out of there. It's okay. And he's patient. He's very patient with it.
Yes,
but I could tell on one of them, he was starting to be like, all right, now, like, you got to make a decision. Like,
I'm going to kill you.
We can't. Every time the bee would fly out, he'd go to put it back on, it'd fly right back in. He's like, all right, come on. So he just sat the lid down. And he was just trying to coax it out. Come on. It was quite funny. So it was quite a good experience that I'm so happy that somebody that I met has bees that I get to. I've always wanted bees, but I've never wanted to have bees. Now I want bees even more.
So that's our initial thing, was to give our love over and do something that we enjoy and that could give my husband some outlet that will give him a calming sensation and whatever. But then to have people like you come in and have their initial fears from this whole bee craze. I don't even know where it came from, where bees swarm and sting you. Bees swarm.
Candyman.
I guess. I don't know.
Killer bees.
Okay. Well, all right.
And traumatic experiences by walking in. Listen, once you've been stung by a wasp, every flying insect is an enemy.
It's not. So so contrary to popular belief, nobody knew this. Probably. I don't know. If you do know, I'm not judging you. So don't think that.
We know
listener.
nothing.
I'm judging.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Silently.
I'm not. Love you guys.
Bees will actually kill wasps.
Yeah.
They kill them.
So here's what's funny. We have a video game at the house. It's called Bee Simulator.
Yes.
And that's something I did learn from that video game. You have to fight wasp in it.
Rush them, guys. Heat them up. Super heat them.
And all the bees are women. And that's the women empowerment right there. Boom, boom.
Worker bees.
Yes, all of them. All of them are women, and there are just a few male bees, and their job is to be concubines, and that's it.
And they die after that.
Yeah,
Shame.
it's pretty sad.
Hey, at least they're useful.
I guess it's a good life if you look at it a certain way.
Well,
very simple, short to the point.
Nothing
here's what
complicated.
happens. If you want to know about the good life,
let's go.
The one guy that goes toward the queen and gets his business going, she rips his junk off and he dies.
But here's the thing, though.
That's
at least he got to get his
right?
business going.
The thing is, that's kind of a part of a bee's existence anyway. Is that if you stick it in something, you're not going to get it out again.
Jeez.
Wow,
that's the guys, truth of it. Are you listening? He went there.
That's why I'm not afraid of bees. They're not gonna want to stick it in me because I ain't worth it.
Wait, what's happening? What's happening? Where
anyways,
did this go?
that's the tits on bees, right?
Lord.
I was actually going to get nerdy there for a second when you were talking about the calming vibration, the calming.
Yes, go ahead.
So Daniel and I have this thing about frequencies that we've been looking into. like
We're
various hertz
weirdos.
frequencies.
We're like
no,
weirdos.
No. You actually talked to me about this.
Yeah, I talked to you about the things that we can talk about. Though.
Yeah, this is true.
The publicly consumable.
Look how he's wearing
weirdness.
his hair right now. Do you think maybe?
It looks like he's. I don't know.
Anyways, continue,
yeah,
David.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I wonder really what frequency their hum is that would make it calming.
You know, honestly, and it changes too. It does change. So the hum that they create when they're working and not paying attention to you, doing their business and just doing their own bee thing, is different from when they have something attacking their hives. Is different from when they have a little dance that they do.
Right,
they
right,
hum in that dance too, or the batting of their wings. It's really not a hum. It's a batting of their wings. It changes when they get excited. It changes when they need to cool down the hive.
Right.
It's all different.
Right.
You can look these things up and geek out on bees. I mean, and if you want to geek out even more, you can just talk to my husband.
I have one thing to geek out on for just a second. So
Okay.
I
Go
Google
ahead.
searched frequency of bee wings,
Oh. Okay.
and it is, what does it say? In contrast to the fruit fly that has 1/80th the body size and flaps its wing 200 times each second, the much larger honeybee flaps its wings 230 times every second. So I don't know what frequency that is. That's the answer it gave me.
That'll be.
You'd have to do some
that'll be
maths.
the average.
We'll do some maths on it later and actually determine the frequency.
Yeah,
on
we're
that.
gonna have to explore this, and maybe that's gonna be a new healing method.
Yeah, we look for alternative healing methods.
Yeah.
You and I have talked about this
Yes.
a little bit too. You go see like a holistic
A
healing
natural-
doctor,
a
not
naturopath,
natural.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you call it? Natural.
A naturopath? Yes, a naturopath.
Can you take bees on a plane? Can they be your like
Your anxiety animal.
anxiety animal? Your
Well,
beehive?
they only have 50 something days of life
Yes.
or something like that.
Their
So
life expectancy
It's not
is
that
very
long a
short.
flight.
how many?
Well, I don't know. Longest flight. Well, yeah, maybe.
I don't know. You're gonna take a fifth of their life and put it on a plane. They could put it to be better use. Well, 20 something days for them to get to adult. Then they only have like 30 something days to do their work. They have to learn how to do it too.
Yeah.
All right, this is all stuff that Dave talked to me about
I
while
can
we
tell
were
you sound
over
like
there.
it. You're sounding very, very official. I love it. I'm loving what I'm hearing.
Yeah, so here we are. You have the bees, you have the coffee shop, and all
Right.
this stuff. You've done all of these other things. So I think the biggest thing that this exemplified for me is, and the thing that keeps me coming back is, I still see you growing, right? All of the things that you encounter, you're not done.
No.
Like the thing, I think that's what's motivating about you is you're really not done. You show up and do it. I know some days it's probably really freaking hard because I wouldn't want to deal with all these people. I'm gonna be honest with you. So you're braver than I, because I wouldn't suscept myself to those type of situations currently. But maybe I'm wrong. Who knows?
No, it's a joy. Honestly, I think it comes out of a servant's heart. I think our entire family has that servant heart, and I'm not trying to sound like cheesy or whatever it is.
Sound
but
cheesy as you want. It's okay.
It is a servant's heart. It's one of those things where you just know that you're created and made to serve, and it's a joy and it's a pleasure. No matter, I mean, there are days, there are times, there are moments, there are seconds in the day that you're just like, okay, what burr got up their bonnet? But you just have to be like, okay, cool. I just wanted to know what kind of coffee you want. And then other days you're just like, this was the most special, wonderful day. I feel like I added value to everybody's life today. They came in, I was able to say a good word. I was able to give them a cup of coffee, but it was more than a cup of coffee, hun. And I get to come home on those days and I'm like, Dave, you'll never guess what happened. Man, we had kingdom conversations.
Yeah.
Like we had these great conversations where people's lives were being changed by just being in the presence of these two people, me and one other person talking, and then another person came in and they were like, whoa, yeah,
and then Daniel showed up.
And then Daniel showed up.
Just kidding. No, I definitely make things weird sometimes.
No, you don't. Actually, it's we were just talking about it's awesome. You're awkward.
How
You're
I get.
awesome is
If three people are in there and I'm the third one, even if I was the first one that showed up, I'm leaving.
He's like, I've got to go.
Yeah, it's like, I'll see you later. I'll be back in a little bit or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna go stand outside.
And then I think that created a kingdom conversation. Through that was another kingdom conversation I remember having with you, and getting home and telling Dave, I was like, hey, we had another one today. It's those type things that opens my family up to understanding that it's just more than you and you and me.
It's bigger than all of us.
It is the lives that we touch. And if
Sphere
you
of
want to go so
influence.
far as to be would you say freaky or weird or whatever, but those are vibrations. Those vibrations come off of you and they go back and bounce back on other people. And the light that you share, the vibrations that you share with other people are important.
Yeah, so shine as bright as you can while you can, because it does end for
Absolutely.
everyone.
It does.
So something David and I talk about, this is why we like chess so much. One of the
Yeah.
things that he always brings up, because he's teaching me a little bit about chess. I know a little bit. He's teaching me a little bit too. So
What little I know.
one of the things that he always brings up, it's not about where the piece can move. It's about the sphere of influence. It's about what it can do, not what its moves are, but what does it affect other than its moves.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's what the sphere of influence is. So that's one of the things that you just
Action
described.
and reaction.
Yeah,
Yes.
so the sphere of influence that you're acknowledging, and that's what I get from here. That's
Yeah.
why I keep coming back, and that's why I want to share it with other people. That's why I've been like hinting around about trying to recruit. You're like, oh, go ahead. I'm like, but you don't understand. Like, I really want to.
No,
You know
and
what I mean?
that's the other thing. We try to keep it open to everybody. Anybody that wants to do something, I want this to feel like you said, the Cheers or the home. I want it to feel like your house. Where you're coming, and I do say this sometimes. They're like, you don't have cinnamon rolls? Look, if Mama didn't want to cook you cinnamon rolls today, you ain't getting cinnamon rolls today. No, I'm teasing.
The menu is fresh every day.
It
It's
is
it's
fresh.
whatever she makes that day. There's
It
only
is.
so much room in the box.
It is.
And then
It
whatever
is.
you're feeling that day, and it kind of
comes out.
It comes out. And listen, I will say this. I left you a review the other day on the thing, but the food creations that come out of here continue to amaze me. Every time I think, oh, she's outdone herself. And then you have a colorful waffle. I'm just like, all right, cool. And then you have this like traditional Hispanic bread
Yeah.
or something that
Like
you've made
conchas.
that
Yeah.
you've made your way. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, okay, cool. She's clearly playing to a customer base that showed up. So look, she offers the things that you come. If she thinks that somebody may enjoy it, she's going to try and give it a go.
Yeah.
So I
absolutely.
really appreciate that. It's so genuine, the efforts. Sometimes it only shows up once, and then people will come back for like 2 or 3. Hey, you gonna make that again? And you're just like, actually no, but since you brought it up, would you like some?
Yeah, I'll make it.
Yeah, no,
absolutely.
it's really cool, and I've witnessed a lot of things just by sitting and being a fly on the wall in some ways, and having interactions with people outside of here now. Right,
Yeah.
some of those interactions that started at the front door
Yeah.
have now carried on beyond here. The events that you've had, the people that we've been able to met, and now everybody sees me and they're just like, oh, hey, what's going on, man? I'm clearly the guy with the dreadlocks, okay? I'm clearly the guy with the dreadlocks. And all of this stuff, and now it's really like whenever I'm not here, everybody's like, where's he at?
Yes.
Where's he at?
That is one question that does get asked, and it does get asked over and over again. Like, and it's not necessarily, it's where's the Dryftwood guy?
Yeah.
Or where's D or Daniel?
But I ask
or,
you those things about other people
Yes,
as well.
you do,
So
you
it's
do.
just like, hey, have they been in here? Or how are they doing? How's this going? You
Yeah.
know? It's like
Where
you're
are
the connection.
Where are the officers?
Because
that was the other thing.
we pass at different times. So sometimes they're here. One time it's like, oh, how are they doing? Because in normal life, me and those people may not interact, but because we have a commonality, a shared
Yes.
experience of a coffee shop, we now have something. No matter how different we are, we have something that anchors us to the same place. And part of that being anchored to the same place allows us to at least expand from there.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of the networking and a lot of the things that have happened since I've come here, my life has just exploded with color, right? I've always been like a really
Pretty awesome.
like a really like reserved person or whatever, and I've been trying to be more expressive. And then I show up here and it's like I get more confidence to be expressive because there's somebody else that's being. I'm not so ashamed to be who I want to be.
Yeah.
And
well, there's no reason.
it's very
to be.
comfortable, very
Well,
comfortable.
That's another thing. We didn't want it to be uppity and pretentious.
Unless you're not liking guns. If you don't like guns, this
is
not the spot
place.
for you.
No,
Okay?
not the place.
Not
Not
the spot.
place.
Just
Sorry,
want to preface that. Everything
Yeah.
else about it, it's really cool. But if you can't get past the gun thing, the menu.
Here's the reason. Here. Yes, the menu, everything is military
Mm-hmm.
themed. My daughter, my oldest daughter, she's a Navy vet. She deals with PTSD. A lot of our entire family, let's just put it that way. So today is Memorial Day, people. And
Yes,
a lot
we're
of
recording
people-
this on
yeah,
Memorial Day.
Yeah, it's Memorial Day. And so we are remembering the dead. It is not a happy thing. So when you say Happy Memorial Day, it's almost like, what? That's almost like me saying, well, here's your grandmother that died. Happy Grandma Died Day. You know what I mean? Like, sense. Like, it doesn't make sense to a military family. So this is what we do. We support veterans and veterans organizations. We're military themed, and our coffee gives back to military. We're Black
Rifle Coffee.
Yeah, Black Rifle. And we chose that on purpose, not only just because of...
It's really good coffee.
It is really good coffee.
Yeah.
No joke. I've tried other coffees, a lot of other places. The only other place was Germany. We really enjoyed some of their coffee. And
They also drink it a little bit differently.
They do. And that's a big thing. But, we do that on purpose. And if you just can't get past the gun thing, I just don't even know. It's coffee.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's a menu in coffee. It's not going to shoot you, and my shirt's not going to come off and cop a couple in your booty.
There's a lot of things that
I don't know. I just got a scene from Austin Powers. I don't know.
So there is something that I want to point out about the gun things and things like that. It's just a name to call something on a menu item
Glock
or whatever.
19, yeah.
Right. And if you understand anything about guns, the drinks are to serve and be that type of thing for you, right?
Yes.
So the names are very
just
clever.
For funny.
They're very clever.
Thanks.
And they're very clever. And then also, like, you have the MREs, the hand grenades and stuff like that.
Which is my muffins.
Yeah, so you got to show up. You got to get yourself something here. And if you're not satisfied, honestly, let her know, and she'll give you something else. Just tell her what you didn't like about it. She has something else.
I do.
Yeah.
And I think, I would go so far as to say, I don't want to say that I'm amazing, but I can pretty much do whatever you ask. So if you're asking, like, I've had some people come in and I'm like, challenge me, tell me what you want, and I'll figure out how to make it and make it.
I want a swan.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead. A black swan.
You got it. It's yours.
The rarest.
Maybe a black sheep. No, I want a cake. I want a cake that is the size of a life-size sheep, full wool.
I can do that.
Full wool.
I really can.
Put cotton candy on the outside of it.
That would be
or
awesome.
Fake cotton candy because we're doing sugar-free, right?
Yeah, we got to do
because you got to remember, this place is nutrition.
Yes.
This place is nutrition first. It's nutrition first. It's health first.
Because it's part of me.
It's
That's
health
why.
conscious.
Yes.
Right. So if you're trying to be more healthy conscious, come talk to her. She'll give you a couple of tips too, because she is a nutritionist. She is a trained nutritionist and a fitness coach. So listen, this
like
place
I said,
is
it morphs.
this place is more than just what it is presented. You have to
Thanks.
show up and you have to get an experience so you understand what it actually is. But did you have? We're gonna wrap it up here pretty
that's
quick.
fine.
We've
Go
ran
ahead.
in an hour. David, do
Sorry.
you have anything? No, this is perfect.
It's a lot.
Yeah, no.
David, do you have anything else that you want to incorporate? I just wanted to point out that we were in an hour,
Yeah,
so we
yeah,
are going to be
right,
wrapping
nice,
soon
nice.
because we're probably fighting against weather a little bit
Yeah,
too.
I was looking at it. I'm starting to feel a little bit.
But
I'm
anyway.
glad that we got to do it outside,
Yeah,
guys.
it was
that
beautiful.
was important for us.
Yes.
That was important for us to do it outside
It's
here.
actually really pretty.
Oh, not
Even
hot.
though it's like overcast.
It's a little
still really
breezy,
pretty.
no sunshine. I brought my
Yeah.
sunglasses out because it poked out a little bit, but ended up not
Yeah.
needing them. But do you have anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to on your last point as far as it's focused on nutrition. I think it's important to footnote onto that
Yes.
without compromising on taste, without compromising on flavor.
I try not to. Yes.
Because that's the
Try.
thing.
You don't compromise.
That's the thing. I mean, the sin. Oh, God, I cannot describe the heaven I've been in since I tasted
Whoa.
that hot cinnamon.
Actually,
roll.
Dave,
I'm serious. I'm freaking serious.
You guys have to understand, David has to eat like this.
Yeah,
Like, he doesn't have a choice.
Unfortunately, I'm afflicted with the gluten-free stuff, the celiac, all that.
Glutton.
So, and coming from a chef background, I love dough, I love pasta, I love pizza, I love
yeah.
lasagna, all the good stuff
Don't
that's
we
made
all?
with wheat, beer, all of it. So
Yeah.
it was really a depriving thing to not be able to enjoy those things. To go through days of pain just to enjoy a cinnamon roll, really not worth it. But then this is like, oh yes,
Yeah.
With
really
none
just
of the side effects.
yeah, just felt so fulfilled,
Yeah.
fulfilled.
I'm so glad to hear that. See, that's what I did it for. I do it for people like you, for
Here's
myself.
the thing. Here's
For the cripples,
thing.
I appreciate it.
My the
Yes.
cripples.
Yes.
My goals
You're
in
welcome.
life are to affect one person that way, like
Yeah.
those types of things. And I've lived a fulfilled life because I feel like I've been able to achieve that in a lot of ways. But us getting to do this and have you on, thank you so much,
Yes.
honestly, for coming
Absolutely.
on. Do you have anything that you want to promote other than like the specific? Do you have an Instagram with this place too, right?
I do. I'm on Instagram.
Are you active at a lot?
We're on Facebook, Instagram. I am active. If you see anything on our page or on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that in the past or up until this point, you can do a dozen or a half dozen of anything I've done. What I do want to promote is the Porch. I actually want to promote the Porch.
Summertime's coming up, guys.
Yes.
Summertime's coming up. You got to have an outdoor spot.
Our space. You can use
if
our
you
space.
have an event coming up, if you have somewhere you need and you can't find a spot you're looking, there's lighting, there's come
we
talk
have
to them.
music capabilities. We do have the ability for you to plug in your
Look, where we're sitting at right now, I have my guitar in the truck, but where we're sitting at right now would be the perfect spot to set up like a coffee shop music, like sitting here playing on a stool, playing just.
We have had that.
One of the events. I was saying it like it's perfect for that. Right? It's a presentation. That's where we're sitting at to record. So this might be the record spot right here.
Right. If someone out there wants to record their whatever it is, and you want to do a video, I don't even know if that's even. I'm old. I don't even know.
Hey, get your wind up camera out here.
Get it out here with your VHS.
Yeah, your camcorder.
Come and shoot a student zombie movie on the porch.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, whatever. Just come talk to her. Come see. What's the address here?
It's 414 West Avenue D in Garland.
Texas. Yeah, guys, Texas. If you're just coming through, make a pit stop. You got to stop by here. I'm telling you, got to stop by.
We've had people from Oklahoma. We've had them from everywhere come by.
Look, and I'm talking about you fools that are out there in like North Carolina and stuff that sometimes come out to Texas. You need to stop by here.
Yeah, stop by here.
I would love
that. Got to
stop
by here.
Yeah, you Coloradians as well.
Coloradians as well.
Yeah.
All you guys.
Coloradians?
I don't know. We're just making up names for things today.
I like it.
But Chasity,
yes, sir.
if you could give one piece of advice, just one, to someone who's considering engaging in such an endeavor as you has, take something derelict, broken, and make something beautiful out of it. It's going to take a lot of work, a lot of effort. What's the one thing that you would give them to help them on their way to do that?
To help them on their way to do that. Yeah. I know, again, cliches and all those things.
Sure.
First of all,
if it fits, it fits.
Yeah, if it fits, it fits. That's right. That's actually close to what I was going to say. Just go and take that risk. If it fits, it fits. It's there.
You don't know until you know.
Exactly. Take that chance. Walk forward. Like with this space, he took a chance on me with me giving him very little. I gave him very little. I didn't have anything to give. I literally said, I will make this place the most beautiful thing if you'll take a chance on me. Dude took a chance on me, and boom, here we are. So that's what I'm telling everybody out there to do. Not that that you don't do it with some sort of forethought or whatever. That's why every Chasity action figure comes with a Dave. He is my engineer. He's the one that I'm the one that makes the pie in the sky fun things, and he's the one that brings them down and puts parameters in them and makes them a reality.
It's like, this is what we can achieve.
This is what we can achieve. We can do it, babe. We can jump out of the airplane. We can go down and rappel off the things, but first we need to do this.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm telling you. If you want to start your own business, do it with those parameters in mind, but never, ever, ever miss the opportunity to take that risk. Never. Because I promise you it will be worth it every time, whether it turns good or bad. We had COVID and all that. It was great. It's all good, peeps. Everything works to the good of those who trust. Just trust it. It'll work to your good. Even in the tough times, it works towards your good.
Especially in the tough times, because those are the moments when you can't lose yourself.
Yeah, don't give
Absolutely.
up.
Yeah, because when everything's going good, it's real easy to be positive.
Oh, yeah.
But when shit's going tough, those are the days that you just don't make things worse.
That's
right?
when you got to maintain.
You got to maintain.
Well, and even in the maintaining, you've got to find some sort of happy space so that you can just get through the next minute.
Yeah, it's not just about surviving anymore.
When I was going through my treatments, that was it. If I could just get to the next breath, God. If I could just get to the next breath, I promise I can do this.
Well, here we are. We're able to be outside, breathe this beautiful, beautiful air.
Yeah.
Thank you again for letting us use the space.
Absolutely.
I really, really hope to record a couple more episodes here with some other guests. But so this is pretty much our kickoff for the second half of what we started with the Dryftwood podcast, and things to progress from here. But again, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
It's Chasity Lewallen, the Fifth Avenue Nutrition. Check it out on Facebook,
The Grand Poobah.
Instagram, the Grand Poobah of all things great and coffee.
And coffee.
And coffee. Yeah, so yeah, guys, come out here to the porch. Check it out. There's some darts. We left some sidewalk chalk out here. There's dominoes. There's ping pong. There's a pool table. Like
little soccer things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
listen, don't limit yourself. Also, bring some trucks for the kids. Let them come out here and play on the concrete. All that
Why not?
stuff. Whatever, right? So
Yeah.
bring a blanket, have some fun. You can check us out at thedriftwoodpodcast.com. Find us at buymeacoffee.com / the Driftwood podcast, or Dryftwood, I'm sorry. Buymeacoffee.com / Dryftwood, DRYFTWOD. For exclusive content, we'll have pictures of us, the setup and all that stuff on there. We'll share a couple of them on Facebook, but
And
all the
thanks for
detail
buying
stuff.
the coffees.
Yes, actually, I want to give a shout out. We haven't given a shout out yet on air. I want to thank Pam Starkey
Thank you, Pam.
for
Yes.
donating some money to the cause and allowed us to purchase some coffees up here in Fifth Avenue. So Fifth Avenue thanks you. We thank you.
Yes.
And there's your one specific shout out. So thank you for supporting us, and anybody else that wants to contribute. That's a way to do it. And again, look for exclusive content there. Follow us on all the social medias if you're not already at thedriftwoodpodcast.com. We're out, guys. We love you. Do you have anything else, David, Chasity?
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Yes,
Not a problem at all.
All right.
Now we're gonna inundate the internets with you. All right.
The internets.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. Thank you again. Love you guys.
All right, we're